What's good, y'all? This is Kenny Cams. I'm still a little sick. You can hear it in my voice, but this is the Black Show, recording live from the new studio. This weekend was a very, very interesting experience with Festa Italiana. So I got to the studio Friday morning. Usually during the weekday, during the morning time, you can find parking because we right in the third ward and we right kind of by Public Market, like a block from Public Market. So it was a little interesting on Friday where I'm like, in the morning there was no park. It was parking like normal in the morning on Friday. But I probably left the studio at like, cause I usually get here in the morning, y'all, like 7 o'clock. I treat this like a job, for real, for real. And then I'm here at night usually too. But I got I was in the studio for probably about 2 or 3 hours, or probably like 4 or 5 hours. And I came outside like 12 o'clock, like 12 p.m. And it was literally just to like move my car because you usually get 5 hours on the meters, right? So and now I just broke down and just paid for monthly parking here. But when I say it was people parked in loading zones, I'm like, what is going on? And then when Dot told me, he was like, oh yeah, it's Festa Italiana this weekend. I was like, oh, that's why I seen them expensive ass cars parked in loading zones. Them cats don't care. Them the old mafioso boys. They don't care. They run this downtown. Their cars ain't getting touched. That's what I think a lot of people don't understand. That Milwaukee is a mob city, for real, for real. A couple different ones too. I used to work for one. Well, I used to like semi work for an extension of one. I think when I was in right when I graduated high school, I was doing like maintenance, like property management stuff, and like cleanup stuff and stuff like that. So just an interesting weekend, man. I had my nephew's birthday too. My sister threw my nephew's birthday. It was fun, man. I give credit to anybody that has kids, bro. Like I was pretty much on uncle duty for all the kids there, and it was like so. My nephew's one. It was probably like 20 kids there between the ages of like 2 and like 9, bro. And I was trying to keep everybody in a central location. Granted, everybody else's parents was too, but you see some kids that are like meet, like wander off because the kids just run around the fields and playing and stuff too. It was super dope though. It was super dope. But I was definitely on uncle duty, and I was tired last night, super tired last night. Um, but today's topic that I want to talk about is surrounding yourself with people that hold you accountable. So I saw a video of Damian Lillard. It's on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, BMGMKE. Um, so I saw a video of Damian Lillard, and he was talking about when he's in high school with his. I'm guessing when he went to prep school from his other school, because I'm guessing he went to prep school, but it would have made sense with the story. So his teammates that he got there with, like, he thought that it was still going to be like fun and games, and they didn't. Basketball was how it took in the city. That's why when I talk to a lot of my city athletes, I talk about this. Like these suburban kids aren't. They're taking basketball a lot different than you, and it's not like a work thing. It's a different mentality about basketball for them. Granted, usually the biggest benefit of being in the suburbs before like being in the city, besides like the financial and all that stuff, is you don't have a lot of worry. You don't have a lot of side worries and side issues. So like, if it's a kid from Waukesha, right, that really really wants to hoop and like really is gun ho about playing college basketball, has talent, he could literally go to the park every day and just focus on basketball and not have to have anything else in the peripheral, nothing else going on. Um, and could live his life. Like, yeah, you might have girl problems and friend problems, but it's no real problems. Like, you could really focus on basketball. Now, you flip that to a kid, single mom in like 53206, growing up in poverty. Like, going to the park to hoop might be dangerous for you. It's hard to find a gym. You might not have the equipment. You see what I mean? So it's a like, but I think that gives our boys coming from the, and I'm not even saying black, like, because it's poor white kids in Milwaukee too. It gives us an advantage. And I say that because you are working through problems and issues. So it's harder on the front end, but you get. I look at it how I look at it in music. I had to work through so many different little things about learning how to engineer, learning how to produce, learning how to market, learning how to network with other people. That once you get to college, everything becomes extremely easy. Like having a studio now, I don't have anxiety about nothing because I know I'm literally probably one of the best in my fields of all of the things I do because I invested a ton. I invested like 5 years of time nonstop. So when you get to that point, that's why like when the hood college players that make it out and make it and can get through clean with like and almost cut ties with the neighborhood a little bit and go do their thing and not have to have that guilt, they usually become some of the best players in the world because they can focus all their attention on one thing now and it's not spread a bunch of different ways. And Damian Lillard talking about this, he talked about how when they went to study table or study hall, um, he was thinking they was just gonna bullshit around, and when they got in, the guys started getting their books already, and they was looking at him like, "Dawg, what you on? Nigga, do your homework." And then when he was late to practice, his teammates would get on him. And I said like that's kind of what happened at Riverside, because when we got there, and I love them older dudes, some of them I don't like at all, but and when I was a player, I was cool with all of them. I don't like. This is how I am with people nowadays, fam. Like, and don't you can try to put a perception that it's not this, but like if you act weird around me, I'm not fucking with you no more. I don't care who you are. Like if you do some janky stuff or something that I have to question, then I don't think you deserve to be in my space. And I feel like that should go for everybody. If I do something that you should question, then I shouldn't be in your space. But it's people that I went to school with, especially on this business side, or that I grew up with, that would be trying to give me advice and shit, and they don't have no clue what I'm doing. They don't know clue what business I'm in, and it's because they have businesses and shit. And this is why I say I kind of separated from a lot of people here, and it's for this like reason that Damian Lillard said, the people that you have around you are the most important thing in the world because they will either bring you down or push you up. I spent my high school career around people that pushed me up. I was talking to my sister about this last night. I was not a great, like, I can show my Letterman jacket and have all the all states and all the all conferences and the conference championships, shit I won in high school. I was surrounded by fantastic athletes. And it held me to a standard of like, oh, you gotta run a 4.5, nigga, because everybody else running 4.4s and 4.6s. So you gotta put yourself in the mix. Like when everybody start dunking, I'm like, oh, I gotta learn how to dunk. I gotta do this every day. And you can teach yourself how to dunk, y'all. Just try it. And just keep trying to dunk all the time, and eventually your legs will get stronger and you'll be able to do it. But like, so we was dunking in like sophomore year and high jumping and stuff because I was competing with the people around me. I had people that was holding me accountable and keeping me around me that made me compete. And then in college, I was around people that were lazy and didn't really have no goals and didn't really have no like long-term plans. They were just kind of living in the moment and partying and shit. And that's when I got fat and I lost a lot of the initiative and like that I had. So if you talk to some people from high school and then talk to people from college, like people from college probably now, they see me now, probably don't even recognize who I am. And I say that I'm like, that's more of a shot on me because, and not them, because when I was around y'all, I wasn't myself. Because I have to be around people that hold me accountable and push me to be better. And if I'm around people that are doing negative things, I tend to do the negative things with those people. That's why I stay away from it. That's why people think it's a holier than thou thing for me. Like, nah, I know myself. I'm Tony's son, nigga. I know myself. Like, I can be, playing and acting like a kid, and then they can go to a debauchery place real quick with me. So I know that. So I stay away from the drinking and the alcohol and the clubs and the sketchy people because I know how easily slippery slope that is. It's not saying that I'm like better than that shit. I just know I can't. I literally can't maintain in that environment. And that's the conclusion I had about myself. So I know this black show was kind of like in a circle, but the key point I want everybody to get is be around people that challenge you constantly. That's the only way you'll grow. Like if you think about it from a sports perspective, if you had a coach that didn't like give a fuck if you was practicing hard, you think your team gonna win? You need a coach that's making sure that you're going to hate the coach for a long time. But when you get success, then you'll realize, like, I get what coach was doing there. I get what it's a psychological game, y'all. Like you can't be around people that's not on what you own, or you never gonna be on what you want to be on. It's Kenny Cams, y'all. I'm out. It's the Black Show. Peace.